Hello, welcome to the Outdoor Station once again, and today we're going to be looking at the Hammer 2, another excellent value for money shelter from Luxe, and one which may be of particular interest to cycle tourers and motorcycle tourers because it offers you a great value for money package, but provides you lots of storage space as well as camping area, so you're not tripping over your panniers, etc, etc. But without further ado, let's have a look and see how it pitches.
This is the Luxe Shelter Hammer 2. I've been quite keen to get a video of this done because I don't think people appreciate just how much space this shelter gives you. It's an ideal shelter, I think, for people, perhaps small families, somebody with pets, cycle tourers and motorcycle tourers have particularly been interested in this, and we've sold quite a few as a consequence. So again, what I'll do is I'll just pop up the inner first of all, just to show you how large that is. All the poles and everything comes complete with this. You're looking as a total weight in its package, as you've got it here, about 2.7 kilos. It's just over the kilo for the skin and just under 800 grams for the inner. So, you know, very respectable. And the rest of it is made up of the poles, pegs, etc, etc. So it's a generous two-person sleeping area, but a massive, massive porch vestibule, call it what you will. So I'm going to pop the inner up first of all, we'll have a look at that, and then we'll put the skin over the top and you'll see just how big it is. So there you have the inner, a nice generous two-person inner. The floor area is 2 meters this way and 1.3 meters that way. So that makes for a generous space, which I'll get down in a minute to demonstrate. It comes with 3 poles. The 2 poles erect the inner shelter first of all, and then the 3rd pole, you'll see in a second, protects and supports the large vestibule. Fairly straightforward really to put together. There is a front and a back. There's a couple of eyelets in the front tabs, which is where the 3rd pole gets linked into, and at the back tabs there's only 1 eyelet, so you know which way is front. So easily you can just pick this up and rotate it round depending where you want to place it in a campsite. But it's all clipped in nice and steadily, very easy to clip together. There's no way that you can actually get the poles confused because all 3 poles are exactly the same, which is great because there's nothing worse than arguing with somebody, your partner, on a campsite while you're trying to sort your shelter out. It does have 2 entrances. It has the main entrance with the vestibule at the front, but it also has a second entrance at the back as well, which everybody's very, very pleased with for ventilation purposes. And if I just open the door there, you can either use the back area then for additional storage, or obviously if the weather changes for whatever reason, the person sleeping on that side can get out. And at the moment I've just got the pegs just pegging it down, just holding it in place. So I'll get inside and give you an idea of just how much space there is. As I say, keeping in mind that I am 6'2", the pitch of the walls are nice and steep, so therefore it gives me plenty of foot space and head space, and I can lie down in this 2 meter length quite comfortably. I'm down here and not be troubled by material in my face if I'm lying on a deeper sleeping mat. I'm also taking up just half, so there is plenty of space for a second person here, obviously, or all your gear should you wish to do so. That's probably all I can say about this. Fine mesh, plenty of ventilation, it should be midge proof and ideal for all areas. But what we'll do now is we'll pop the outer skin on, and I just want to show you just how big this vestibule area is. So as you can see, a very generous vestibule area. I've just measured this depth to the inner nest there, and it's another 1.4 meters deep. So as you can imagine, that's an awful lot of space you're getting for not that much weight. But let's just go around the exterior and just give you confidence in the shelter. It's got plenty of additional tabs and guy points, all of which that come with the shelter. 2 ventilation areas either end of the sleeping area to make sure there's a good throughput of air. A generous door at the back here, as I say, that corresponds to the inner nest, second door at the back, so you can either use that for storage or for exit in for whatever reason. More tabs and more guy points as we go around it. The clips, where it clips into place around the base of the outside, is very, very solid, nice big chunky standard plastic clips, which are good for bolting it down. Very simple to erect this tent. As I say, especially when the 3 poles are exactly the same, you can't make a mistake with it. So all in all, good value for money and lots of space. The material the tent's made out of PU coated nylon, which means there's no seam sealing to do. So what you get it out of the box, you can start using it straight away, and you don't have to worry about seam sealing issues, which is a bit of a compromise that you have these days with sil nylon fabrics. Anyway, I'm going to pop inside it now and just give you a bit more idea of how much space we've got. So as you can see, I'm tucked in the sleeping area now inside the inner nest, and as the camera pulls out, you've got that generous 1.4 meters of space. You can see now why it's so popular with the touring market, the touring fraternity, whether you're cycling or motorcycle touring, because you've got space for your panniers and helmets and jackets and all that sort of stuff. They can all be put to one side, and you've still got lots of space left for preparing food. The back door is open here right behind me. I could open that up, get a nice throughput of ventilation, and in fact the space that there is behind my head here, there's enough there for a couple of motorcycle helmets. So, you know, for 2.7 kilos, obviously it's not the lightest two-person tent in the world, but I'd say it's probably one of the most generous spaces that you can feel safely tucked away, fully zipped down, out of the elements, and still enjoy your holiday break. So that's the Hammer 2. What more can I say? Great value for money, excellent tent.
Indeed it is, and hopefully that video gives you an idea of just how much space you've got inside there. Let's have a look at the some of the finer details. Just a brief reminder, as I said there, the fabric is PU coated ripstop nylon, which is pretty durable stuff. You can see from that picture, which is a semi graphic, just how much vestibule area there, depth compared to the sleeping area, well, as I say, explain just how much space you've got inside. The fly itself, just over a kilo, the nest 784 grams, and the poles another 760 grams as well. Totaling 2.7 kilos. So certainly not the lightest tent in the world, but I think really gives you excellent space coverage and a reasonable weight. Very much as a compromise really, price as much as anything else. Of course the sleeping area, as I say, is 2 meters by 1.3. And that massive vestibule gives you another 2 meters by, well, I measured it as 1.4, but they obviously say 1.3, and there's the pack size there as well. Obviously the shelter is available in the UK from Backpacking Light, so do have a look for a few more details and any changes and further information that may have missed. So I think that pretty well wraps it up for today. I hope that's given you a bit of an idea of what's contained inside the Hammer, and hopefully it'll help towards your tent choice. Thanks for watching.
This machine will have eyes, ears, and a voice.